trying to beat the sun up. Grinding hard for mine to see a meal before my sun's up. All I'm saying is I'm trying to get my funds up. Gotta stay strapped, case these niggas.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining in on another episode of Run It Back, where we highlight the area's greats from yesteryear. This segment this week, you know what I'm saying, we spoke to this gentleman. He's a great man. We spoke to him before. We kind of went, we was Facebook Live, man. There was a great opportunity for you guys if you missed it, or if you was able to check in then, it was a great opportunity for you to get a history lesson. But he's able to come back. You know, he's so busy in the community. He's doing his thing, man. And you know, if you got kids that play sports, if you got kids that's thinking about playing the sports, if you got parents, if you parents are coaching, or just spectators of the game, you do not want to miss this episode. You know, we're talking. We're gonna be sitting down talking with one of the area's greats. You know what I'm saying? You can put him in any era. You know, his resume. You know, as we go and we talk, his resume is impeccable. But you know, again, you know, we're blessed with his presence. And this week, we are blessed to have none other than Crosby great, Mr. Damian Saunders. Dame. What's good, baby?
What's going on, baby? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for coming back, you know what I'm saying, running it back with us.
You know, we got to run it back another time for him, man, just to get these kids and everybody to know what's going on with the Waterbury basketball.
For sure, man. And one of the things, too, is like, you know, like when the last time we was chopping it up, man, you know, some of the kids probably missed it, you know what I mean? And now, you know, I started getting more of the kids that's more in tune and everything. So it's like, no, you don't want to miss this.
Definitely
you know what I'm saying? You don't want to miss this. And I was telling you, I was like, yo, man, you got some gems that, man, they need to hear it, man.
Yeah, man. Basketball knowledge been passed down from some of the greats to me. So, you know, that's all I'm trying to do right now is give my gems to the youth. For sure.
You know, we're just kind of like starting out, you know what I'm saying? What drove you to hoops anyway?
My family's a basketball family. You know, my father played, a couple of my uncles, cousins, but what really got me to play is my big brother, Dell.
Okay.
You know, just
shout out to Dell, man.
Just following him around park to park, seeing him, Lucas, you know, guys like that, just really going at it. And then, you know, we had the rec one day, and shout out to Margaret Hayward. She just snatched me up one day and was like, "You gonna play basketball?" And then from there, it was history.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you locked in just?
I want to say I was locked in probably around 6, 7 years old. Just you know, playing traveling basketball. At that time, we didn't really know it was AAU. It was travel teams. You know, so I played with the PAL, played with the rec, and like I said, from there it was just golden. Met great people throughout the road. Yeah. And everything else is history.
Wow. So did you play any middle school ball?
I played my 8th grade year.
Okay.
My 6th and 7th, I was kind of afraid. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, we had some good guys at North End, and I was like, you know what? I ain't confident in my game yet.
Okay.
But I'll say by 7th grade summer, everything changed. You know, playing PAL and just we were winning every tournament that we went to, so my confidence went through the roof. And then, you know, some of those guys went on to high school, so it was me and my boys from playing with PAL. We all went to North End together, so it was just our year. Now,
did any of them transition to like being great hoopers, or they kind of played at that moment?
Majority of them were good. Like I said, all 5 of us went to Crosby together.
Okay.
You know, we played freshmen. Some of them played JV throughout the year. One of them really ended up getting hurt, so he stopped playing basketball like that. Yeah. But we were all good hoopers.
Wow, so y'all started at North End and then went to Crosby.
Well, it started at PAL. We were all at the PAL together.
PAL.
And then North End, Crosby. So.
Because a lot of times at North End, you go right to Willie, right down the hall.
You know, I ended up moving. So, you know, once I moved, and my boys was like, "Yo, we going to Crosby." I said, "Crosby." Me, I was trying to go to Caner, following my brother's footsteps. You know, I was one of the Panther favorites with Gunny, Luke, my brother Lamar, Jarrell. So I wanted to be the next one.
And that squad, man, I tell them this all the time, and that was a That was a great squad.
Oh, it's a great slept-on squad in Waterbury.
great
Everybody,
squad.
everybody sleeps on that team. You know, the guys went undefeated for 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, it's impeccable. You know, that's why I said, like I said earlier, you got to know your history in Waterbury when it comes to this basketball thing.
Know it. Got to know it. So your 8th grade year, you know, you're finding yourself. You're more confident. Did you guys have a successful season?
Yeah, we ended up winning the whole thing.
Okay, y'all won the city.
Yeah, we won the city champs. My numbers weren't too crazy. Like I said, at that point, I felt like my boys were better than me.
Okay.
You know, I was just the defensive guy. Let me just block his shot, you know, grab these boards or whatever. But as far as offensive-wise, the guys can shoot. They can dribble. You know, some were faster than me. So we gelled too. It was just too perfect the way we all gelled. Even the guys off the bench, we all gelled perfectly. Yeah. So it was a long run for whoever we played that night.
Wow. So you go to Crosby, right? Now, are you going there with any expectations?
My expectation was the same as my other 4 guys. We just wanted to play freshman basketball together, you know. And then from there, I want to say I grew to the height that I am.
Wow. So, all right. So how tall were you coming out of 8th grade?
I want to say probably like 5'10", 5'11".
Okay, coming out of 8th grade, then you hit a growth spurt.
Went to Eastern Invitational that summer. Came back in a week. None of my clothes fit. So
get out of here.
Yeah, it was a shocking surprise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, my freshman year, the only expectation I really did have was just hooping with my boys. That was probably it. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, I started dunking. Going into my freshman year, I was dunking.
Oh, going into?
Yeah.
At the end of your 8th grade, going into?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So you dunking in
Yeah, I was postering everybody, man. That's how I got called up to varsity.
Wow. So by the time, you played, how many games did you play your freshman year?
Before I got called up, I played, I want to say at least 5 or 6 games.
5 or 6 games?
Yeah.
And you were already, 6?
I was 6'8".
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold up. Wait.
From 5'11" to 6'8".
5'11" to 6'8"?
Yeah, I had a crazy growth spurt.
It's like you probably was growing 2 inches a day.
I had a crazy growth spurt, man.
Wow.
It was nuts. But it worked to my advantage, man. It helped with my game. It made it a little bit easier for me, especially on the defensive end. Yeah. But, you know, as far as coming into the offensive, I really didn't get into my offensive game until, like, my senior year.
Your senior year?
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't have to with Jewel, Drew Smith, Bootsy, Bop.
So, all right, so your freshman year, who's on that varsity squad at that time?
Thomas Banks.
Okay, Tom T.
Toby's up there.
Tobe.
Eric Johnson.
Yeah.
Shan Ellis was up there.
That's still
good. we had a real good squad.
squad.
We had a real good squad. It's just we ran into Weaver in the States. You know, they had Stanley Robinson, and he was just too much for us. You know, so you know I love those guys. Like I said, I learned a lot from guys like Tom T being one of my favorite point guards ever to play with. Mm-hmm. You know, Eric Johnson being my big homie for the center position. Yeah. And then, just the guys that were on the bench that were the vets, they seen the potential before I seen the potential.
Gotcha.
So,
and you a freshman.
Yeah, I'm.
And they probably seniors, right?
Yeah, those guys were seniors. They were on their way out. And then like I said, I grew up with Bootsy. Me and Bootsy played on the PAL team together. Yes. And that summer, he just snatched me up. Yo, bro, we gonna play together every league, every tournament, everything. So it was. That made me gel with him, Jewel, Drew Smith, and those guys. So
going back to your sophomore year, they're the juniors.
Yep, they were a year ahead of me. So
man,
it was trouble for the city, man.
It seemed like that's so. I think people forget about that Tom T. That squad, because that squad was nasty too.
Yeah, that squad was definitely like just me being on the varsity bench watching these guys and how they especially Tom T. He controlled the game as a point guard. Yeah, I'm not gonna speed it up. I'm not gonna slow it down. I'm gonna just get right to where I gotta get the ball to everybody. Mm-hmm. So that was the way growing up, I thought basketball was played. Let's get everybody involved
Yeah.
before you try to do what you got to do. And then that changed once I got to my sophomore year.
So your sophomore year, that's when it was showtime.
Showtime at the Apollo, baby.
Now that's the dynasty. Like,
That's when it took off. My sophomore year, their junior year, it definitely took off.
Is Ant Ireland freshman?
He was a freshman their senior year in my junior year.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, he wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So what was that sophomore year like though?
Sophomore year was crazy because, like I said, we bouncing back from the loss at the state. We lost in quarterfinals, and our goal was just to beat the quarterfinals. Get past the quarterfinals. Nobody really we knew what we were capable of, but outside of us, nobody really thought we were going to make it that far.
Yeah.
Until probably about, I'll say, the 7th game of the season, where they started seeing us really blowing everybody out.
I talked to a couple coaches, man, and they was like, yo, that squad was defensive minded like a mug. Like, y'all, you ripping them. Next thing you know, it's showtime on the other hand. Fast break, somebody dunking.
It was like the Showtime Lakers, man. Everybody knew their role. Yeah. Everybody brought into the defense, and then offense just is going to take care of itself.
How much preparation did you guys do over the summer, though, playing with Boots, Jewels, and then what was you guys?
It was just playing, growing. Yo, let's go to the park. Back in the day, we had landlines and stuff like, yo, call your hope. Yo, I'll meet you at your crib. Let's go get the other one. We go over here, run this park. Oh, they done at this park. We going to the next park to run it. Okay. And it was just an everyday motion. And then I want to say by our junior year, we all got on the same AAU team for a little bit. Okay. So, it just made us all bond even more. So, those guys are like, they're teammates, but they're more so like family.
Yeah, because y'all together all the time.
All the time. We beef like we brothers, and, we fight and all that. Next day, we might just, yo, what's up, bro? Yesterday was just crazy, but that's part of really just getting to know somebody, and that's the camaraderie that everybody needs when you playing this sport. You need that big brother or little brother to keep you going.
For sure. And, one of the things when I first seen you, on that squad, I'm like, yo, you see the way he run the floor? Like, the way you run the floor is like a deer gone. Like,
it's funny, cause I was just telling the kids that yesterday. They like, yo, you be chasing people down. I said, in high school, man, I can chase you down from the other end of the basket.
Yeah, man.
So it played as well, long legs, and I was kind of fast. So putting them together really helped me cover a lot of ground on the floor.
For sure. Now, did you guys go to war in practice? How was those practices like?
Practice was definitely war. Even though it was the starting 5 versus the JV team. Yeah. There would be days where some of the starting 5 would be like, you know what, we want to play with the JV. We want to go against y'all. So,
really?
So, especially like me and Jewel. Me and Jewel would go at it all the time. There'd be days where we'd be in school talking junk to each other. All right, I'm going to catch you in practice. I'll be on the JV team today. Let's go. Yeah. So it was a real push, just going against those guys, especially for me, them being my upperclassmen and stuff like that. Yeah. I wanted to see where I held my own at.
Yeah. Now, so before we get to that second year of that, so you said by the 7th game, you guys was like, yo, we got something. Now, when did it, how far, like how long did y'all ride that wave? All the way, because y'all was just blowing people out, man.
I want to say probably after like the 10th game, everybody's mindset just changed. Yo, we can win states. We can win states.
That's when it clicked. We can really do something.
We can. Can't nobody touch us.
Wow.
And that was more so because, like you said, our defensive prowess. You got me protecting the rim. You got Jewel and Drew Smith, who are 6'5" each. Then you got Bootsy and Bob, who are both 6'1", 6 feet.
Yeah.
But they got a long wingspan. So the defense that we played worked so well because everybody was long and understood their position within the defense.
Wow. So now how did that season end then?
We lost in the state championship game.
I made it to the States.
Made it to the States. We played Trinity Catholic. It was a great game.
Trinity was a juggernaut too.
Yeah, definitely a juggernaut. Definitely, we ended up. It was crazy because with a few seconds left in the fourth, game is tied up. They heave it at the end for the last second shot. Heave it from like half court, air ball. But the sad part, homie on their team grabs it out of the air, lays it in at the buzzer.
Oh.
Game over. One of the worst feelings ever.
Wow.
Yeah, it was tough.
Because if they miss, y'all win.
Now, if they miss, it goes into OT.
OT.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Lost by 2.
By 2. Yeah. That's a rough one.
Yeah, it was rough.
Would you rather lose like that or get blown out by 25?
I'd rather get blown out any day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because you lose so close, you think about all the things that you probably could have did to change the outcome.
Oh, this turnover, we had a turnover here. So you're constantly thinking what you could have did better in the game.
Yeah.
Especially close, losing by 1 or 2 it's the worst.
Yeah.
Being in a blowout, the only worst thing that you're going to get is that film section the next day. Oh, look at you. You ain't do this. Oh.
They was killing us all night on this play.
I can live with that, but going to film the next day after losing to a buzzer beater, oh, man, it's real rough.
You're picking every little thing apart.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got a serious chip on your shoulders. You know what I mean? What's the preparation like? Even like the summer, or even after that game? Like, what do you guys like? What's the feeling like?
Really never told nobody this. So one day we were at Drew Allen's house.
Okay.
It's me, Bootsy, Drew Allen, and I want to say Rob Manning. He played my sophomore year. He was a senior, and we're just talking, and we like, yo, we had that game. We could have won. Just like we said, we could have did this, could have did this, could have did this. And out of the woodwork, Bootsy and Drew Al both, we on a mission this season. So that was our slogan going into my junior year to their senior year. We on a mission, like, and that just turned everything. So now when you say, yo, we on a mission, you thinking, all right, state championship, we taking this, and we gonna show everybody that they can't stop us.
Wow.
And basically, that's exactly what we did my junior year.
And y'all steamrolled through everybody. Like, okay, what would you say? Was there a team in the NBL at that time that gave y'all a go, or that y'all was kind of like marking your calendars for? Because that's gonna be a huge game for
I would say the only game we really worried about was the Wilby game because that was the city rivalry game.
Wilby. Was Sacred Heart they didn't start their dynasty at that time?
Nah. At that time they were I want to say my sophomore year. John Lucky and Calvin were leaving after that year.
They were leaving after that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they really didn't have too much.
Yeah.
And then when I left, that's when the dynasty.
Yep. Okay, got it. Wow. So Wilby was the.
Yeah, them city games, man. You picked up for those. It's like a rivalry in college, Yeah. Everybody's gonna show out, so you trying to prepare your best. You want to play your best, and you making sure that everybody on the team is ready.
For sure. Now, how do you get in your mental state, like right before the game? You in the locker room? Is it intense in the locker room, or is it you got some guys that's upbeat? And
in high school, we were a little aggressive. We all turned on the music. We all listened to the same stuff. So when the song came on, we all used to get each other hyped, pumping each other in the chest or pushing each other just to get us riled up for the game.
Yep.
So now when we do come out, for the warm-up, before the refs come out, now you're getting a quick little dunk contest out of the players because we trying to show y'all what y'all in for right now. That's pretty much it. We gonna show y'all what y'all in for.
You showing them what y'all in for.
Because most teams you come out, you'll see them dunk it once or twice, and then in the game you don't see nobody really going at it.
Yeah.
But you seen us come out, we give you good 4 or 5 dunks, and then next thing you know, in the game, like you said, it's showtime.
It's showtime.
Every time there was a steal or a fast break, it was either me, Joel catching the lob, Bootsy dunking, Bob catching the dunk. So it was just a calamity of, we gonna tear things apart when we get out here.
Yeah. Now, what would you say was your closest game before the states in the regular season that year?
Really wasn't one.
Really wasn't one. Man.
It's like, and it's funny because
that really was on a mission. Like
I gotta tell you,
that wasn't letting the gas up neither.
And it's bad because now, like I told the kids the other day, I say, yo, you think about all the stuff that we did. Mm-hmm. We only got to play a half. We've only played the first half of the game.
All that stuff y'all was doing, y'all only played the first half of the. It was out of reach by halftime.
In the NVL, we only played the first half of the games. So all our stats came in within that first half.
Within the first half. Man, that's incredible. Because even the final score read a blowout. So it ain't like y'all come out and then
it just
the
comes,
unit,
you know.
let them come back. No, the second unit kept the gas going too.
Because of those practices, those battles we used to have. Like I said, they had a JV team had a chip on their shoulder because some of the guys were on varsity, but didn't really get too much tick. Okay. So you, like I said, with us in practice, that's where you get everything off your chest.
Gotcha.
Let's work. You want to go at him today? All right, get up on him. We gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
But you gotta carry your weight.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what you want, you gotta carry your weight. So once everybody picked up on that from the JV to the varsity team, our practices were like hell. You know, you wanted to battle. You wanted to show somebody that you can take their spot.
Yeah.
You know, and at any given point, if you had a bad week, guess what? You sitting on that pine, my brother.
Oh, man. Wow. So you guys pretty much steamrolled through the regular season. Mm-hmm. Now you got the states. Did you face any scares?
We had a few, but small adjustments turned everything around.
Okay.
We played Hardin that year.
Yep.
We won by 10, but it was still, like I said, it was them small adjustments.
Yeah.
You know, playing in a neutral site.
Yeah.
And just you're not used to teams being just as athletic as you guys are. So, you know what I mean? So now you gotta, all right, we got locked back in and get going. And then
because Hardin was pretty aggressive too.
Yeah, Hardin played
athletic.
We played Hardin that year. We played Xavier, and then we ended up playing Trinity Catholic in the States again. Mm-hmm. So those 3 games right there in the States, our first game was a cakewalk. We ended up blowing them. I forgot who we played, but we blew them out by like 30. And then we played Hardin, Xavier, and then we went to the finals.
Wow. Xavier was tough.
Xavier was real tough. We played them in a small, tight gym too. So it was a lot of compact noise. You really couldn't hear nobody. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, with me being a basketball player, the loudness really, I don't mean to speak too loud, but it's just
it's necessary.
It's what I'm accustomed to. You know.
Okay. Wow. So now you get, you guys get, you on that mission this whole time, and now you get a chance at your payback.
That's all we wanted.
So when you guys realized y'all was playing them again, what was that hype like? How was that feeling? Knowing, okay, we got a chance to go at them again.
I feel, and this is just my perspective, I feel like we were all like excited.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were all focused.
Okay.
Like, coach came in, we're playing Trinity. We might have been like, yeah, word. But at the same time, in the back of our mind, we like, we know what it was last year. Mm-hmm. They don't have the same pieces, but they're a tough team.
Yeah.
So we can't take them for granted the way we took them for granted the first year.
Got you.
It was, I want to say that practice or 2 that we had before the final was just straight to it. Let's get to it. Yeah. We're not playing around. We just gonna make sure we got our X's and O's are good.
Yeah.
Make sure we healthy. We taking care of our bodies and stuff, and we ready to play.
Now, Coach Argelli, like it seemed like he had a tough task because, he got all these stars and kind of like keeping you guys focused. Would you say he had a hard job to do that, or you guys kind of because you gelled together, you was able to kind of keep each other, grounded?
I'll say it's 50-50. We kept each other grounded, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it was our jelly. It was more so Larry DeVito, the assistant coach.
Okay.
Because everybody grasps to DeVito, so he just kept us all on a narrow page. Yo, we know you're excited to play to get your revenge, but it's a bigger task at hand. So
Got you.
us hearing that really dumbed us down from the excitement.
Yes.
And it's like, you're right. We got to win this.
Yeah.
We got to bring this one home. Especially since last year we lost. We were trying to win it for everybody in the city.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it was. I think that was the most pressure that we felt. We don't want to lose again in front of everybody from the city because we going against Trinity, and they from out there. So it's like, it was like a city versus city thing. It wasn't even a school thing.
It wasn't even a school thing. It was the whole city. Did you guys feel like the Beatles, man?
I wouldn't say.
Y'all was like rock stars, man.
I wouldn't say for us. Normal people looking in from the outside, they'll probably say we were the Beatles. But to us, we felt like Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang, okay.
We all got
Nice.
we all got our own style.
Yeah.
But now when we come together, it's what the
That
people
Voltron,
want.
we all- one unit.
It's what the people want. If you like Jewel, I'm gonna come watch Jewel play. Oh, Dad, who that kid? All right, I'm coming back to a Crosby game.
Yeah.
So for us, it was just more so, we just trying to put on for the guys who don't get looked at the way, the inner city kids get looked at.
Gotcha.
They always get looked over. Oh, he's a bad kid. He's a bad, not, behavior is one thing, but if you can get this kid to outshine himself on the court, you did your job.
Yeah.
And that's what we felt like. We did our job when we got on the court. We outshined everybody that thought we were just some hoodlums or just or kids that so it's just the outlook and the take that you give.
Definitely. Now, you got, you're leading up to the game for Trinity. Obviously, you got, you get back because it was a heartbreaking loss. But now the game is on. Tip off. And I think that game was at the casino, right?
Nah, we were playing at Central. This was when the games was at Central. Yup.
Okay. So, oh man, jam packed.
Mm-hmm.
two of the state's juggernauts.
Super packed in there.
Now, do that play a part in like the nerves?
Kind of, because like I said, you're used to playing in front of the crowd you get, which is probably 2,500,
Right.
3,000. Now you're at a college stadium, and they hold a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang. Like I said, when you first walk out there, no matter if you've been there before or not, you're gonna just look around like, yo, this is crazy.
This is crazy.
We here again.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, being there the year before really helped us out because we wasn't so locked into everybody around us.
Okay.
We were just locked in the moment. Yo, we here. We coming out to do what we gotta do, and we leaving with a chip.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere definitely is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely. Until tip off.
I tell people that now. Even when I play games now, even if it's a rec league or something, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Until
butterflies.
Until tip off. Once tip off come, this is regular thing.
Yeah. Now, what was the difference in terms of competitiveness the second time around against Trinity than the first time?
The first time, I want to say it was more so of a powerhouse low post game because they had David McClure.
Okay.
And they still had Craig Austrie, who went to UConn.
Yep.
I forget the guy's name, but he ended up going to Brown. Like, they were really tough. It was more so pound the ball in and let's get some easy buckets.
Yeah.
To where the second time we played them, it was more so let's drive and kick or drive and try to penetrate and try to get a bucket.
Okay.
But we were so, like I said, us being defensive-minded players, we just wanted to stop y'all so bad from scoring because we knew y'all couldn't stop us.
Y'all knew they couldn't stop y'all.
Not at all. Especially once the game started and, Jewel hit his first probably 2 to 3 shots.
Mm-hmm.
we knew it was going to be a long night.
Wow. So y'all really, like, that team really prided yourselves on defense.
All the time, man.
Wow. I mean, you hear people say, oh, defense wins games and stuff like that, but, like, when you watch that, it's like y'all ripping somebody, you blocking the shot. Y'all really prided yourself on defense.
It was definitely, because for us, like I said, we wanted to embarrass you, not just by dunking and all that stuff, but we wanted to embarrass you because you couldn't score on us. So if you try to come, like, there was games I used to just tell Bootsy and them, yo, let them come to the lane so I can block it.
Let them come to the lane.
We setting the message, like Shaq used to tell all the guys in his interviews, small guy coming in the lane, I'm fouling him hard. It was the same thing. I just didn't foul you. I'm gonna try to block this shot so hard to make you think that man, I'm not going back in.
You're not letting nobody get nothing.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Man. So you guys win this game a little easier than...
Not so much easier. We still won by 2 points, but we were on the winning side this time.
The winning side. Yeah.
So it was definitely, it could have went either way. Don't get me wrong. We had a couple mishaps.
Yeah.
We ended up losing Drew Smith at a crucial time of the game.
Wow. And the thing is, too, it's one thing that's the fact that you guys lost a close game the year before to the same team. Now, if you losing an integral piece to the formation, and it's like, we can't, like, is it the pressure of we can't lose this close one, or is it like, no, we just got to stay focused and do what we do?
I think it was a little bit of both, because when Coach called the timeout with probably I want to say the last 2 minutes of the game, called timeout, we were all antsy. Yo, we about to win this. We about to win this. We about to win this. And like I said, my boy, love him to death, Joel, he was our team captain, came up. Game ain't over, fellas. We were here last year with the same mindset, and we seen what happened. But stay focused and get the job done.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest difference. We matured a little bit more.
Yeah.
To understand the situations that we were in.
And you had your team captain that know what it felt like last year. We ain't doing that again this year.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let me keep us all around so we make sure we go out when it's over.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that, like I said, it was a real dogfight, both games.
Yeah.
But the second time we actually came out on top.
Yeah.
And we did what we had to do. We got a couple stops towards the end of the game that were huge. Made our free throws.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Now, how did that feel? Like, finally we got our revenge and our chance. Y'all got the whole city on your back.
Man, you couldn't tell us nothing, man. We were sitting on top of the world after that game. It was, like you said, it was sweet revenge.
Yeah.
Something that we've been waiting for a whole year. We've been talking about the whole summer, even after we lost.
So it's like mission completed on that journey.
Exactly. We set a goal. We knocked it out the park.
Yeah, nice. So now you lose a nice core to the team after that season.
Yeah.
But you still have, so on that second run, you still got Ireland coming, which was a freshman at the time.
Yeah. No, BJ was a freshman that year. My fault. Ant was a freshman my senior year.
Okay. BJ.
Yep,
yes, BJ Montero.
Yep, BJ Montero.
Right.
He was a freshman when we won it that year. And then my senior year came Ant.
So you got BJ. Now, what is your mindset knowing,
My mindset
you lost a lot of people, but now this is your team now.
My mindset was just to make sure everybody knew what it was when we got on the court.
Okay.
We come in here to win. We don't play games. We still defensive minded. We ready to take off anybody who's coming into this house. And like I said, my senior year, I had 3 of my guys that I came into Crosby with. And BJ Montero. So it was still, we were still gelling. We were still doing what we do, but now we're not blowing people out like that, or
game's a little closer.
So
still getting the job done, but game's a little closer.
Exactly. So it it's a big learning curve from having my Monstars.
Yeah.
Now we got the Looney Tunes squad now.
Yeah.
They're not bad, but they don't compare to these guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So, but it was a wake up call. Like I said, my senior year, I couldn't just be the defensive monster that I usually been because my guys were good, but they weren't basketball guys like that. They were playing baseball or doing something else.
Okay, all right.
And BJ was our main scorer on the team.
Okay.
You know, because that's what he came in doing. I can score. So our thing was, you know what? I'm gonna help BJ with the scoring as much as I can, and y'all just fill in the rest. If we got fast breaks, here you go, get a layup or easy open shot, take it.
You guys still have that defensive mindset?
Yeah, we still got the defensive mindset. It's not super effective because it's not everybody being as long as we were before, but now
you got different casts.
Now we got speed.
Oh, okay.
So y'all can speed them up and it still lead them to me. So
right.
you know, so
and that's what you want.
Exactly. You know, so it worked out. It worked out perfectly. Still on the defensive end, our main problem was offense.
Okay.
Because after me and BJ, we really didn't have an offensive power like that.
Got you.
So if one of us went out the game, it's kind of curtains.
Okay.
You know.
And how did that season go?
We made it to quarterfinals that year.
Quarterfinals.
Yep. And
wow, that still went kind of.
And we ended up losing to Xavier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
oh man.
So it was kind of their sweet revenge.
Yeah.
You know, they lost to us the year before, and then they came and beat us. But like I said, to me, it was just a big learning curve because I was trying to really see where I was offensive mindedly. You know, getting my jumper going. You know, starting from the foul line, 1 dribble, 2 dribble, spin move, get to the basket. So those were like my go-to moves. I mean, So
would that be one of the things one of the intangibles that you worked on that summer before?
Not as much, and that's the sad part. I really didn't work on my offensive game. I didn't to me, I didn't really care about scoring too much. I took pride in defense. So if I had somebody score on me, I would get upset.
Oh, okay.
You know, or if
so you was like you want to lock them down and you blocking shots.
I couldn't have nobody scoring what Drew Allen them scored on me. No. You're not scoring 20. You're not getting 30. No. And like I said, growing up in that area, you got the newspaper every day because we ain't have social media. So,
right. So, and you're going to read about it.
So you go get the newspaper. Everybody going to say, oh, well, this dude had 30 on cross. What you do? Nah.
Yeah.
I ain't want nobody coming to me telling me, oh, yo, this dude had this on you.
Yeah.
Nah.
Were there any other teams in the city, though, that were kind of like give you guys a run for your money at that time?
My senior year?
Yeah.
Will be.
Yeah,
they had Julio Fleming.
Oh, Julio.
Yep.
Yes.
Jordan Craig. They had a nice squad.
J.O.
They had a nice squad. And the crazy thing is that's the only team that beat us that year in the NVL.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They caught y'all.
Yeah, man, they got us at their home, which made it even worse.
And you know it was jam-packed, too.
Super jam-packed, man.
Wow. Now, did that game went down to the wire?
Yeah, went right down to the wire. And just like I said earlier, I believe BJ fouled out that game.
Okay.
So, and it's funny because me and Ant talk about this all the time. This was one of Ant's first games in varsity.
One of his first games. Oh, man, because he's a freshman.
He gets in the game, brings it up.
Yeah.
I think he got double team or trap.
Yeah.
And he ends up turning the ball over.
Ooh.
You know, so, you know what I mean? Can't really be mad at him.
No.
But like I told him, yo, it's just a learning curve, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it happens to the best of us.
It does, yes. You know, and moments like that make you better.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I
definitely.
mean? Because now you know, all right, I was young. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now I know.
Exactly.
Especially if you're hungry too.
Oh, definitely. And
I know that served nothing but motivation for AI, man.
I was about to say, you see what he turned into.
Exactly.
You know? So it definitely turned into some fuel for the fire for him.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, you lose to Xavier in, you said, the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. Now, at this time, though, are you starting to see like a huge influx of college offers, or do you have your mind, are you kind of already focusing on where you want to go, committed, or?
Right, so we're going to have to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
So my sophomore year, I probably, and like I said, I don't like to brag, but I'm probably one of the only guys who ever had this done. I don't know, but I had Jim Boeheim come out here.
Your sophomore year?
My sophomore year. Came to Crosby, everything.
Oh, wow. Syracuse.
Yep. They wanted me bad, and then I did what most of the kids are doing today. I got a big head. Stopped doing what I was supposed to do, so I lost that. And then
This your sophomore year?
Mm-hmm. And then by my junior year, everything started coming back. I had Rhode Island, University of Rhode Island, Providence. I just got a letter from UConn. Mm-hmm. The schools were coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And then by my senior year, I didn't really have the grades because nobody, I wasn't taking school serious like that.
Yes.
But as soon as I got, a couple coaches telling me, hey, you can get your grades up and do this, you'll be good. So once I graduated Crosby, I didn't even go to college. I went straight to prep school for a post-grad year.
Okay, post-grad.
And
Notre Dame?
Yep, Notre Dame in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. And I played with one of the best players I ever played with in my life.
Who that, Mike
Beasley.
Ooh.
And I was a sponge. Every day I'm up under him learning. That's what got me to my work ethic, staying in the gym.
So for people at home that's watching, this Mike Beasley, Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Mike Beasley, NBA player Mike Beasley.
Like I say, he got my work ethic up. He got me watching basketball more.
So he was really a student of the game.
Definitely, he grew. And for those who don't know, Mike grew up with KD and Lethal Shooter. Oh. They all went to the same high school. They all played AAU together. So
okay, no, I didn't know that.
He's already locked in. You know what I mean? So by the time we got to prep school, he's putting me on, yo, let's go watch Kevin. I'm like, who's Kevin? He's like, Kevin Durant, bro. He played at Texas. And they ended up playing UConn that year. So I'm like, bet, they play UConn, let's watch it. I'm from Connecticut. And that's what got my love for KD. I'm like, yo, he's tall like me. He can shoot. He can handle the ball. He can do everything. So now after that game, me and Mike is in the gym. He like, bro, you can do the same thing he be doing. You just got to switch your mindset a little bit. And, that's all I've been working on. So from prep school, I signed officially to go to Marquette.
Okay.
But my scholarship got taken back because Dominic James entered which was their point guard at the time. Mm-hmm. He entered the draft without an agent. So you were allowed to go back to school if you didn't have an agent.
Okay.
So he just tested the water, see where he was at, and then came back. And the crazy part about that, I would have been at that we had, 3 recruits coming in that year?
Yeah.
And the 3 recruits coming into Marquette that year would have been me, Jimmy Butler, and Jay Crowder.
Ooh.
So it would have been a whole different atmosphere. But then, like I said, I lost that scholarship. I was here for probably about, I want to say 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then my coach from prep school, he ended up getting the job, assistant coach job at Duquesne.
Okay.
And he called me like, yo, you want to come on a visit? Yeah. All right, setting up.
Oh, so when Marquette fell through, you came back home?
Yeah, I came right back home.
Okay.
I was still in the gym with Darius Butler every morning.
Shout out to D, man.
And like I said, he called me one day, hey, I'm at Duquesne now. You want to come down here for a visit? Yeah, I'll definitely come down. Hang up the phone call. I get another phone call from Aaron Jackson, who's from Hartford. Mm-hmm. He plays at Duquesne. He's like, yo, come down. Come from the visit. Yo, you'll love it down here. We got a good squad, this, and that. So I'm like, all right, bet. I go on my visit. I say by the time, I went on Friday, by the time Sunday came, or Saturday morning came, I signed.
Just like that.
Just like that. I wasn't waiting for nobody else. Let's go. I'm here.
So when you went down there, did you see enough that was like, oh, I gotta be here? What was that like when you?
It was more so the atmosphere of the city. Pittsburgh it's kind of like Waterbury.
Okay.
You know, it's a big small city within itself, and it just felt like home. You know,
Yeah.
I could walk around, I could be myself, I can talk with people if I need to, I can do this and do that, just like here, and that's what made me want to just sign. Granted, we had good basketball players and stuff like that, but it was just more so the city itself and being away. I was 6 hours away from home, so I was away, but I wasn't really away.
Right. Wow. So, but just to rewind, did you have any? What would you say your worst high school game that you experienced?
My worst one, probably my freshman year when we played against Torrington. I just couldn't hit nothing. I couldn't really do much. You know, it was my first actual varsity game that I played.
Oh man.
So the jitters was
it
all through me.
It took advantage of you, right? Got the best of you.
I'm like, oh man, I don't. I'm telling myself after the game, like, I don't think I'm ready for this varsity wave, man. This ain't it.
Yeah.
But you know, I stuck with it.
It worked out,
and everything worked out for the best.
What would you say your best game was?
After the loss to Wilby.
After that loss?
Yeah.
Oh, who had to pay?
It was Woodland, actually.
Woodland.
Had a quadruple double.
Ooh.
38, 10, 10, 10.
Man. Yeah.
I had a lot of frustration I had to take out.
Yeah, definitely. So now, all right. So I just had to get that out because I was like, I forgot that. So you're getting ready to go to Duquesne. How many years did you do at prep?
I did one.
1 year at prep.
Yep, just a post grad.
So you and Mike Beasley left after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that the funny joint, just to rewind on that, the reason I signed to Marquette was because Mike signed to Kansas State, and they were supposed to play the next year.
Oh.
So I get to play against my boy.
Yeah,
you know, on national TV.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So you go to Duquesne. You sign to Duquesne. Do you have any expectations once you're on the team? Do you have any expectations of obviously your freshman year or?
I just wanted to contribute, no matter how I could contribute. You know, even if it's just being a practice guy or just coming in the game, getting a few good buckets, and then going back out. I just wanted to be a part of the team and contribute the most I can.
So Duquesne's mid-major.
Yep.
So is there any expectations on them wanting you to be able to either shoot the J or just be like a rim protector? Is there any?
Nah, not so much, because my coach Ron Everhart, he was a dog of an old coach, very stern. Mm-hmm. He'll tell you what he wanted, and for me, he just wanted me to play basketball. Go out there and play your game, Everything, just go with the flow, and that's all he used to tell me. Go with the flow, man. You can play basketball, just go with the flow. Okay. So that was the biggest expectation, baby, probably for myself, was just trying to contribute the most I can, whether it's defense, whether it's offense, whether it's trying to get that 50-50 ball or, I'm doing everything.
Gotcha. So you have, so you have success at high school. You won a championship. Mm-hmm. You actually won the championship with Notre Dame.
Yep.
You guys had a 32-3 record.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all won the prep school.
Yep.
The championship, right?
Yeah.
Now, Duquesne, you go into a pretty good system. Put really no pressure.
Nah, not at all.
Now, is the mindset of we want to get to the Is there any talks of the Sweet 16?
It's always talks amongst the players. I don't feel like coaches really talk too much about that with the guys like that, especially in the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. But with the players, that was our goal. We want to make the tournament. Yeah. So we can try to make some noise and get everybody the looks that they need to get.
Gotcha.
But my freshman year, I think we lost, I want to say second round of the A-10, maybe first round.
Okay.
So it was a good season.
Yeah.
for me, it was a good season because I got the jitters out. I got to see what every team is about and what we're gonna do. So next year was basically my sophomore year was basically my homecoming.
That was your coming out.
Yeah, in college.
Yeah. Wow. Now, in terms of training, right? In the off season, do they have, like, especially on this level, is it constant film or rigorous workout sessions? Like, what is that on that level?
So I want to say you said off season, right?
Yep.
So off season, it's mandatory for athletes to still be at school for summer school.
Okay.
So we're still having practice. We're doing the same thing, weight room practice. But now certain guys are taking it amongst themselves. Hey, let's get this personal workout in, or let's go do this and let's do this together, because it's only athletes on campus.
That's it.
We're the only ones taking summer classes like that. So at the end of the day, you probably go chill with a couple of football guys, soccer, whatever, who you chill with. But it's school and straight work.
Wow. Wow. And so your sophomore year, you have a pretty solid season?
Sophomore year was it was a wake up call because we lost majority of our team because we had JUCO seniors, we had guys that were graduating, and then the year before I got there, some of the guys had gotten into an accident where there was a party on campus and 5 of them ended up getting shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was
5 of the players?
Yeah.
It
was crazy. It was real crazy.
Wow.
But my sophomore year, I ended up becoming one of the co-captains of the team.
Sophomore year.
We had the biggest incoming freshman class that year. We had 8 freshmen, including BJ Montero.
Did you do any home grooming? Like, hey, man.
I just let him be. You gotta find your own self when you out at college. Yeah, we cool, we boys, we family, but you gotta find your path. What makes you you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened to me when I got out there. I didn't know most of the guys, but hey, after a few up and downs on the court, we became cool.
Yeah.
My game's gonna talk for me. I ain't gotta talk.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like my sophomore year, coach really dug into the depth of the schedule. We ended up playing Duke that year.
Okay.
We always play Pittsburgh, the University of Pittsburgh, because that's our city rival.
Yeah.
We play West Virginia. That's our backyard game. So
how are you measuring up with these guys?
Oh, I'm holding my own. My freshman year we played. Well, Pittsburgh was stacked my freshman year. They had Fields, Sam Young. They had a few guys over there that, But at the end of the day, I'm still holding my own, making stuff difficult for most of these guys. Like I said, these guys are vets.
Yeah.
They like junior, seniors in college. So you a vet.
Right.
You know what you're doing.
Yep. You know the system.
Yep, the ins and outs. So I feel like I'm doing pretty well, especially like when we played the Pitt and I had to guard Sam Young. I'm like, this dude is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But now you get to see, like you said, you get to measure yourself up. Oh, he only had like probably 8 on me.
Right.
I can take that.
Yeah.
Especially because I wasn't starting at that time.
Okay.
It took me I want to say 7 to 8 games to become a starter my freshman year.
Your freshman year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you ended up starting your freshman year though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely ended up saying. That's like I tell the kids, you gotta, if you love this stuff, you're gonna end up fighting for a position.
Yeah.
It's always a fight. You fighting to keep your spot, you fighting to take somebody's spot, and you fighting to get on the team.
Yeah. It's always a fight.
It's always a fight, But it was a great experience, especially my freshman year. I had 2 guys from JUCO that came, and we just gelled so well. Then they reminded me of Bapa and Bootsy. 2 guards that can just create havoc and make their own stuff. So I was comfortable there.
Got you.
Then like I said, I was playing my natural position my freshman year. I was playing forward, small forward, power forward.
Okay.
Then my sophomore year, I got moved to center.
Oh, you got moved to center?
Yeah. Because of my defense.
Wow.
So I was an undersized center, just
Okay.
causing havoc.
And you still able to do your thing. Like, wow.
It's a pride thing, man. I got to tell them, if I walk on the court and you see me and you say, "Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna have a good game," I already won.
You already won.
I already
And
won.
you're gonna make sure you don't have a good game.
You know, so that's how it was with me being an undersized guy. I look with college, you got film, you get your scouting report and all that stuff. So I look at the scouting report. Let me see who I'm guarding. Oh, they got him. All right, cool. Now when we watch film, oh, he like to do this. He like to do this. I'm soaking everything in.
Yeah.
Because now when we get to the game, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, he going this way. Oh, gotta cut him off real quick.
Now, are you taking that upon yourself?
Yeah.
As you're doing your scouting report, like you're
As coaches give us the scouting report.
who you got?
They'll tell you, hey, starting five, you got the point guard, you got this one, you got this one, you got this one, you got this one.
Okay.
So now as they're going over, you got the scouting report, but now they're going over the film session of them. So now okay, this guy like to do this. Okay, let me see it. Oh, 3 plays in a row, he just did that. All right, I see what he like to take a dribble this way, spin back. So now you're trying to lock everything in.
Yeah.
Even before the game. So now like with me, I used to leave my scouting report in my locker, just so whenever I sit down, coach ain't in there. All right, let me see what we going over. The point guard, and I used to look at everybody. The point guard like to do this and do this. Shooting guard, he only could do that.
Oh, so you know a little bit about everybody on the floor.
So now I can be like, yo, just leave him open. He can't hit.
Yeah.
Because coaches get into depth. Oh, he can only shoot 35% from here or this. So now I'll take that chance.
Got you.
So it's more so how you prepare yourself in college now.
Yeah.
Your game's going to speak for itself.
Definitely.
But are you going to prepare mentally to have your game elevate itself? You know?
So you enrolled into the captain role your sophomore year. Did you guys have much team success?
Oh, my sophomore year was probably, like I said, it was probably the best year I had in college. Because
best year.
We made it to the A-10 conference game championship, and we lost to Temple. And then we made it to the NIT that year and ended up losing in the first round to a strong Virginia Tech team. We took them into 3 overtimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
Oh man! So y'all had a real good season.
Yeah,
really.
we had a real. If you look at it from our perspective, yeah, it's a real good season.
Yeah, had a real good season.
If you look at it from the outside looking in, oh, they NIT.
Y'all did good.
It's a real good season for us.
Any expectations you're thinking going into your junior year, coming back?
My junior year expectations was just really let me average a double-double.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to get noise with the NBA and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me just stick to what I can do. I'm gonna get points. I'm gonna get rebounds. Blocks will be here and there. But like I said, my junior year was probably my best statistic year in college.
Your junior year.
Yeah, I was averaging 15 points, probably 12
rebounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
And averaging 2.8 blocks.
Yeah. Wow. So you're you're filling the stat sheet
all the time.
And that became like your thing too. Like you know what I mean?
That was my nickname in Pittsburgh in the papers.
Yeah.
Stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah, stat sheet stuffer. Wow. So are you hearing like NBA whispers? Are you hearing professional whispers at this time, or are you like how does one that's doing so much not get distracted from that?
My mom.
Okay.
It's just, like I said, my mom and my brother they're like my personal journals. Whenever I go somewhere, I'm always, those are the first 2 people I call, no matter what situation I'm going through. So it can be good, bad, ugly. Let me call them, see what they got to tell me, and then I'll take that advice that they give me and try to make it work the best way I can.
Yeah.
So back to the question, my coach was the first one to inform me about drafts and stuff like that. There's people looking at you, and you might want to keep your head on your shoulders, do everything the right way, and so that's what really started getting me. You know, I wasn't going to the clubs no more like that. I wasn't partying as much. You know, we had to talk earlier about sacrifices.
Yeah.
So, you know, sacrificing a lot of things that in college you want to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, basketball was my goal. So I'm going to take care of basketball before I do anything with that.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
so that's what really kept me level-headed. Just, you know, basketball's going to get me somewhere.
It's going to get you somewhere.
Later on, we can do all the partying and stuff. I can knock that out, but basketball I got a certain window for basketball.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And the thing is, too, is understanding that, too. You know what I mean? Like, knowing I got a certain window and I got to do as much as I can within it.
Like I said, don't get me wrong. I was one of those dudes, hey, man, forget class. Let's go party. Let's go party. Like I said, my coach just loved Ron Everhart to death. He was real with me. Yo, you got a chance to do something with yourself with this basketball stuff.
Yeah.
But how are you going to carry yourself? And, you know, once I left that office after we had that talk, it was just like, you know what? He right. How am I going to carry myself? You know, I act like a kid. I'm only 19 at the time, maybe, because I'm a little bit late with the birthday. So I'm like, yo, you know what? I sat in my room. I'm like, yeah, I got to change certain things, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't party as much.
Got you.
I'm going to start hitting these books a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just so I ain't got to worry about it, because when we go on road games, you still got to do your homework.
Still got to do your homework.
Still got to do your study hall. So it's, you know, I'm just trying to get things ahead of time and knock them out just so I can focus on what I got to focus on.
Now, your senior year, how would you define that year?
I was the OG that year. You know, like I said, I had my freshman class, there was only 3 of us. So by the time we got to be seniors, we had nothing but juniors, sophomores, and
Would
freshmen.
you say BJ coming into his own a little bit?
I'll say by the time I was a junior, BJ just came into his own.
Okay.
You know, he had a good freshman run, and then his sophomore run was way better than his freshman. So he was definitely coming into his own. He was definitely trying to, you know, pick up on his jumper. He already had handle. He can get to the basket whenever he wanted to. So he only had to work on a few small things to make him stand out a little bit more. But as far as my senior year, it was just one of those years, you know, we trying to win as many games as possible. Like I said, I'm still trying to get my numbers, but they don't come before winning.
Got you.
You know? And I feel like a lot of people get that misconstrued.
Yeah.
You can have the opportunity in the world to go to the league, but they don't care how much you score. They want to know if you're a winner.
If you're a winner.
Are you a team guy? You know, so that was my main focus. Hey, we gotta get some dubs. We gotta win.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just more so let's win and build our team chemistry. You know, give me a good last run.
Got you. And you know, before you closed out your career with Duquesne, you still ended up being a 2-time Atlantic 10 Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that was my goal.
How special was that, man?
That was very special. You know, I damn near cried in my room because that was the only thing that I was really worried about. I wanted a Defensive Player of the Year, and to get 2 of them back to back, to be the first person in Duquesne history to do it, it means a lot, you know, because like I said, I study my game around defense.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like a testament to your game, because even in high school, I just worried about defense. And it followed you through college when it was even, you know, Duquesne. These are big stages now that you're showing
real
your
big
defensive
stages.
prowess.
You know, and it's crazy because, like I said, some of the games we played, you know, just hearing some of the coaches, I go back and watch some of the interviews, because as a player, you never hear these interviews. You know?
Yeah.
So just hearing some of the interviews, and I'm like, dang, I got a lot of respect from most of these coaches. Like, you know, and the one that touched me the most was Coach K when we played Duke.
Okay.
You know, he was like, yeah, the guy Saunders, he's out there giving it his all. He doesn't complain. He goes hard from both ends. So just to hear Coach K say stuff like that about me, it was like, you know what? I am doing something right.
For sure. Definitely. We got this segment of our show that we call check your recall. kind of like a total recall segment. So we checking your recall.
Okay.
All right, so what does 36, 166, 127, 116, 1,119? What do those numbers speak to you?
I want to say they my stats on certain things, but it sounds like the 1,000-point club at Crosby.
So, these stats are your Duquesne's record: 1,019 rebounds, 166 dunks, 36 double-doubles, played in 127 games and 116 starts.
Sounds about right.
Man, that's impeccable, man. Those numbers right there, man, is
And durability, man. Durability.
man, that's crazy. And then as we talk about your defense, your rebound, your shot blocking ability, to be one of the only players in I don't know, is the only player as of right now, the only player in NCAA history to record 281 steals, 272. So you got 281 steals, 300 blocks, 272. What's that?
Assist.
Assists. Yep.
Know what record you talking about.
And you only had 51 turnovers. Yo,
Yeah, I was surprised when I seen that too.
that is crazy.
Nah, that's a crazy stat. That's a crazy stat, man.
And when you think about and it's the only player in NCAA history
It's a lot of players.
from Waterbury went to Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we think about players that played in the NCAA,
You got.
how many NBA players?
I'll never forget when my coach showed me the stat, and we in the office and we're talking. He's like, "Yo, you did this. You're the only person in NCAA history." I said, "Michael Jordan didn't do it." He's like, nah.
You're the only one.
He's like, Michael Jordan was great, but he ain't do what you did. I said, dang. Just like you said, all the just mad NBA players going through my mind. I'm like, yo, that is crazy.
That's crazy.
So I take that on the chin. Like, yeah, I'm proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the second most thing I'm proud of after my Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Yeah.
Because I do so much with defense.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And the thing is, too, is like, for those that's just watching, it's like, yo, he's from home. He's here. He in town, and he's the only player in NCAA history with those numbers.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? That's a fact. Go fact check that, man. That's incredible. And when you think about the players that went through the NCAA, went through college, went through the league, as they went through the college, none of those players to this day, but you got those numbers, man. That's incredible.
It's ridiculous, man.
That's incredible, man.
It's just like you said, just all these players that you can think of, even guys who didn't even make it to the league that played overseas, but were great in college.
Great. Yeah,
it's just like wow.
Yeah. So, as you're like cleaning up your collegiate career, are you thinking professional?
It's the only thing on my mind.
It's the only thing on your mind. So how does that roadmap, like how do you transition? What's the transition like to the next level?
So I want to say towards the middle of my senior year, agents started coming out the woodwork, calling and, oh, you got a potential to do this and do this and do this. So I really didn't pay no attention to it during the season, but after the season, it was like, yo, I gotta get with somebody. I need something. So I ended up signing with Jay Baptiste, who's another Waterbury native.
Okay.
And from there, it was just like once the season was over, my senior year, it was straight to the grind. I went to Miami for a week to work out, and then after I left Miami, I came back to school. Just was in the gym damn near every day, and then by the time everybody else was graduating, I was making my way. I want to say I came back home real quick, and then I went out to Vegas to prepare for the draft.
Okay.
So it was just it's a lot of traveling, but at the same time, it's a lot of mental toughness because at any given point, you don't know if you're going to be drafted or not. So your mindset is, yo, I'm getting drafted. I don't care who in this draft. I'm getting drafted.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, my draft class 2011, we had some guys in there. You know, you had Mr. 11 Games, which I like to call him, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You know, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes.
That's all in your
It's
class.
2011. So it's like, yo, we had dogs. So and there was dogs who didn't really get drafted, including myself. You know, Scotty Hobson, who went to Tennessee, Jacob Pullen, who was at Kansas State. These are guys who are making noise in their conferences, and they ain't getting picked up. So you know, it's a lot that goes into that mental toughness right there, for especially during that part of your career.
Yeah. Now, if you don't get drafted, so are you automatically thinking like overseas or the G League or?
My first thing when I didn't get drafted, it was I'm going overseas.
Okay.
You know, it was more so the money issue.
Yeah.
I want to get paid. You know,
Yes.
so when I didn't get drafted, I was probably say a month after the draft, I went to Germany. So I was in Germany for 6 months, playing in one of the top leagues over there. You know, still averaging a nice little double.
Yeah.
It wasn't too crazy. You know, 10 and 10. And it's like, you know, I was just getting used to everything, being in a whole different country.
Yeah.
You know, by myself. A lot of it was.
Is the amenities good? Like the?
Yeah, you know, they take care of you. So
yeah?
you know, you got a place to stay. If you want a car, they'll get you a car. The only thing you really gotta buy is like your food and stuff.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. So you know, at the end of the day, like I said, being in Germany, it helped me out because I was in like a university town, so everybody spoke English.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so I feel like I'm back at Duquesne. Oh, all right, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yo, this is cool. But then I want to say probably like the beginning of that 6 month, things started falling apart. You know, me and coaches wasn't getting along, and you know, it's part of the game, it's part of the business. So they ended up letting me go.
Okay.
Hop on the phone with my agent. He like, yo, don't even worry about it, yo. I've been working on something for you anyway. I want to say right after I left there, I went right to Hungary, and I played in probably like the B League, I believe it was, and I played 2 games with the team before I got called back over here to come work out with the Rockets.
Okay.
So came back here. Now I'm in Houston. The workout, I'm at the training camp was what I want to say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the first week, it's tough. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's the league. Everybody faster, stronger. Their mental for the game is a little bit better than yours. So, and I'm down there with Jeremy Lin, Hashim Thabit, Patrick Patterson, Louis Scola, Kevin Martin, Terrence. Was my guy from Louisville, Terrence Williams. And so, you know, it's a lot of talent in the building. And it's funny because I always tell this story. The first person that got cut from training camp was Jeremy Lin.
Really?
But what happened 2-3 months later is
Insanity. Wow. Wow.
So, you know, he used that fuel as fire. So, you know, that's why I tell the kids now, man, don't be discouraged if you don't make a team, you get cut. It's just fuel to get you better. You know?
Definitely.
You miss a shot, don't get upset.
Right.
You got a whole nother game. You got a rest of the game to take as many more shots as you can.
For sure.
You know, so it's easy for you to get yourself out of the game. And that's 90% of this game is mental. So if, like I told you before, if you see me walk in the court and you like, Dad, we gotta play against Dame, I won.
You won.
I won without even putting the ball in the basket.
Right.
But now that we on the court and now I ain't getting in his way. I ain't trying to get dunked on. I'm using that to my advantage. Yo, give me the ball. He don't want to get dunked on. We going up. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just taking advantage of stuff that people won't think you're gonna take advantage of.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Now, when was the point for you when you started thinking life after basketball, or started trying to pour into like the kids in the community? When did that start to creep into your mind?
I want to say my last go round when I was in South America.
Okay.
You know, I had a roommate from Detroit, and we always used to talk. And he's like, "Yo, bro, when I get the chance, I'm gonna just give back to the community. You know, I'm from the D. You know, it ain't really much out there like that." And I'm like, "Nah, I completely understand. It's the same where I'm from. You know, got a lot of inner city kids who think that the streets are more important than school or sports or stuff like that." So, you know, one day I just sat down and I just came up with a plan of trying to do stuff. But it took me a minute once I got back from Chile, you know, just dealing with personal stuff and things like that. And then what really got me going was my girl and aunt. One day my girl was like, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Yo, I want to do something with basketball, but I want to be with kids." And she was like, "Why don't you just train?" And I was like, "You know what? That do sound kind of dope."
Yeah.
You know, I ain't never been a trainer. I ain't never really been a coach, but I can see myself teaching kids how to do that.
Yeah.
And then I called up Aunt, and Aunt was like, "Yo, bro, I've been trying to get you to be a trainer ever since I started doing this camp stuff." And I'm like, "Nah, I know you have, but now I want to know why." And he sat there. We were on the phone for probably like an hour and a half, and he's just telling me, "Yo, you've been doing this, you've been doing this, you do this, you do." So it really clicked after I had to talk with them too.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, in the work, man, you putting in some, you putting in some work, on the other end with the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? You turn on that light switch for these kids, man, and that's the great thing.
And like I tell them, you know, we both from the same era, so we didn't have too many guys to come back here and be like, "Yo, you should be doing this, you should be doing this." You know, we had Darius Butler, but there was only so much D can teach you at that time because he was dealing with Edmond, he's dealing with all these guys.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, yo, I made it to the highest point of basketball that you could make it to.
Yeah.
Why not come back home and give these guys these gems? You know, I knew it was gonna be tough because, like I said, the street violence and it's cool to be out here doing it. At the end of the day, you know, if I can get a kid to say, "Yo, this is what I want to do, basketball is why I'm happy with that."
For sure, definitely.
You know? So I'll take that one kid over the 100 kids who want to be out here trying to impress their boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not going to get you far.
No, definitely,
you know,
definitely.
Locking in and doing what you have to do on and off the court, that's what's definitely going to get you looked at.
Right, right. Now, if you speaking to the kids at home, if some of these kids is tuning in on the show, what are like some major things that you would tell them that's gonna at least can help guide them along their way?
It's not a big list, but it's a decent list. First thing, be coachable. Got to be coachable.
Got to be coachable.
A coach's job is to yell, scream, make you run, do all of this because he's trying to push you to get the best out of you.
Yes.
Another thing is learn the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Fundamentals to the game will open up so much more of all these moves you see Kyrie, Steph, and all them guys
They got
doing.
the fundamentals down pat.
They got the fundamentals down pat. Another thing is know your rules. You know, read the rule book. Rules change every year on every level.
Year.
High school is not the same as the NBA. College is not the same as the NBA. So you got to know your rules and know what you can get away with and know what you can't get away with. Another thing is, let me see. I'll say the most important thing is just having faith in yourself.
Okay.
You know, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of peer pressure, no matter where it comes from. And if you submit to that peer pressure, you only hurting yourself. You know what I mean? Oh, I was with this one. He did it too. Well, you got caught.
You got caught.
Now you have to deal with the consequences, not this
Right.
person. So don't put yourself in a situation where you know you're not prepared to handle it.
Facts.
You know, with basketball, man, there's so many small things that can turn you into a great basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that at the end of the day, build your IQ.
Key.
If you got your skill set to be this, oh, I can score, I can score, I can score. Why does it take you more than 2 or 3 dribbles to score?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a mindset. Like even when I was in college, that's one thing that my coach told me. He said, "Yo, save your energy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do wasted dribbles. We don't do all this wasting stuff. We want you to be you.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's you catching and shooting, perfect. If it's you catch and rip, maybe 2, 3 dribbles get to the basket, cool. But I don't want you coming down dancing with the ball.
No.
And that's the problem, I'll say, with today. These kids see highlights, and instead of going to work on the move, oh, I can do that. I know I can do that. You ain't got to tell me nothing. How don't I got to tell you nothing if you're still in high school and I already been there and done that?
Right.
Oh, you right. Like I tell them, it's not about being right. It's about being able to listen and comprehend what somebody's trying to tell you.
Exactly.
You know, no matter who's it coming from, you might not like the person, you might not like your coach, or you might not like the teammates or stuff like that. But if somebody's giving me a good piece of advice, best believe I don't care if I don't like you or not. I'm gonna listen to what you're saying.
Exactly.
You know,
For sure.
so it's more so, I'll say, the respect thing. I'm gonna let you talk, but when I talk, don't try to talk over me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, like I tell the kids, I was a 10-year vet. There's not much you can tell me about the game,
Right.
but I can sit here and tell you 1,000 things that's gonna make you a better basketball player.
And you gotta listen and take heed.
And that's the part that I tell them.
Apply.
if you can listen to what I'm saying, apply it to your game, you're gonna see a lot of difference.
Yeah.
You know, and I see a lot of difference in the majority of most of the kids that work out with me, or they work out or just work out, period. You can see the difference in them.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to take the game a little bit more seriously.
Taking it serious. Exactly.
You know, and now when you take that game serious, now you got to take that same mindset and put it towards school. Because you can't go nowhere without grades.
Nah.
School is the most important part of any athlete's life. And
need it.
I know I've been saying it the whole time. I ain't really care about school. But boy, if I can go back, tell you what, I'll be a straight A student. I guarantee that.
Yes, indeed, man. You need that education, man.
Nah, definitely, because like they tell you when you go to the first day, your first meeting of the NBA, you got to have a fallback plan. What are you going to do if you get injured and your career is over now? There's not much, you know, so at least you want to be somewhat smart
And have some type of education that you can fall back on.
Exactly.
And your life is not over. You can start. You could be a professional in another lane.
Exactly. You
know?
know, and you see that with a lot of guys like Lethal Shooter. You know, played against him in college. He went to St. Bonaventure. He played overseas probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 years, and then he just said, you know what, I can shoot the ball, so why not teach people how to shoot?
Right.
You know, and it's a gift. It's just like with me, you know, I can teach you how to do certain things, but how focused are you when you're getting taught these things?
Right.
You know, it's not school, so it ain't like hey, we in class, come on up. I can't control your atmosphere around you. I can't make you say, hey, you know what, Dame right. Dame wanted me to do this and do this and do this. Nah, I went through a lot of trial and error with these kids. You know, just to get a vibe off of them. What are you capable of doing?
For sure.
What is the best part? And that's what I do now. I ask them about themselves. What do you feel is the best part of your game?
Right.
Oh, what's your go-to move? Where do you like to get on the court? And me asking them that really sees their basketball IQ. Oh, I don't know. I said, so if you work out with me, we're only working on spots. We get to spots. We do 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups. We work on handle and stuff like that. But majority of getting to your spot where you feel comfortable at. And a lot of people won't tell you that because they are so focused on the other end of the game. Oh, we just want to win. We can't lose. Oh, you're not doing your job. Get out. I understand it completely, but to get the best out of a player, you got to understand how they are.
Yeah.
Both on and off the court.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can talk to this one in a manner of tone of, yo, just do it like this, he might play a little better. But then you have kids where you do have to scream on them to get them to come out and play their game.
Right.
But like I tell people, if I scream on you, I'm going to explain to you why I'm screaming on you. I'm not just going to scream on you and have you frustrated and just be, because I've been there. I know this like to get cussed out in the middle of the game. And now you on the bench like, yo, I don't even want to play no more. I'm straight. I'm good. Wait for this game to be over.
Yeah.
So it's all depends on what that kid is capable of taking, and like I said, the background, we all came from the rec or the boys club. So we got that toughness. Granted, we didn't like it at first.
Nope.
But we got used to it, and it helped us become who we are today.
Exactly.
Both on, off the court, no matter where we at, we got, like I tell people, Margaret taught me how to play basketball, but at the same time, I can go back to the rec, and it's all love. It won't even be basketball talk. Hey, Dame, how you doing?
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for. You want those bonds with people that you don't have to really say much.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you got bonds like that with people. It's just something that makes you feel good. Oh, you know what? This person did a lot for me back in the day, man. So let me show some love, and that's what it's really about. At the end of the day, we all want y'all to go somewhere, get up out of here for school. No matter if it's D1, D2, D3, or JUCO. I feel like most of these kids are chasing a dream that they know they're not going to get. And it sucks to say it that way. But there's nothing wrong with a D2 school. There's nothing wrong with a D3. There's nothing wrong with a JUCO.
No.
I tell the kids all the time, you know how many players in the NBA came from a D2, D3, or a JUCO?
Right.
And I use guys from our era. Devin George came from a D3 school. He's a 3-time champion with the Lakers.
That's right.
There's a guy right now on the Miami Heat. He's a starter, and he came from JUCO. So it's all about how you perceive yourself. Are you going to step up to the challenge, or are you just going to say, you know what, they ain't messing with me like that?
Right.
Right. So.
Nah, I think that's, man, these kids need to hear that. And these the gems I'm talking about, man. We can, you can score this, you can do this, but like you said, you got to be coachable. You got to get in that book. You got to get that education. Because all else fails, even if you do play professionally, let's just say you do, your career is 9 times out of 10 done by the time you're in your mid-30s. If you're exceptional, it'll probably get you to your 40s. But if you plan to live at least to 60, you got another 30, 40 years to live.
Nah, definitely.
You're going to need another career to bounce back too, even if you make it to that level. And most don't, but not to say these kids aren't going to make it, but most don't. But even if you do, you're done by your 30s. You're still relatively young.
See, and I'm gonna go back to what you said. Most kids might not make it, but that shouldn't be a way of getting depressed, because there's so many ways for you guys to be around the sport. You can be a coach, you can be a trainer, you can be an equipment manager. There's so much things that goes around this game that we don't know, because we're not shown that from the NBA.
It's so many different avenues. And you know what? And one of the things, too, is we place an emphasis on making it to the league, right? I tell people where I came from, if you get that free education, you done made it.
Definitely.
You done made it.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You bring that free education back home, you done made it.
I tell hoopers this, and this is one thing that I figured out on my own. NBA is the dream. Don't get me wrong. That's always going to be your goal. But as a hooper, as a football player, soccer, baseball, whatever you may be, your goal is to get paid to play the game that you love. You know, so if I can't make it to the league and I'm playing overseas, my goal is accomplished.
You still getting paid.
My goal is accomplished. I'm playing the game that I love, and I'm getting paid to do that.
Goals accomplished.
I accomplished my goal. It ain't the top tier of the goal.
But you still getting paid.
That goal is like right underneath that goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you really can't sit here and say, "Hey, I ain't make it." Even when kids see me down at the Y working out, yo, I heard you was in the league. Yeah, I made it to training camp with the Rockets. Oh, you said he was in the league. You take it how you want to take it, buddy. You can't bring me down because at the end of the day, I made it to where I needed to make it.
Yes.
You know? And now I'm trying to get y'all to make it to where y'all got to make it, whether it's college, whether it is the pros. You just got to be mentally tough, coachable, especially coachable. I'll keep saying that over and over and over. Like, being coachable can make you or break you as a player. You know, let's say it's me and Joao, just to go off of it, and let's say I got a bad temper. Damian's not coachable. Some of the schools might look away from me just off the strength. But now that Joao's coachable, he's not angry and all that. Now you get in schools that wouldn't even look at him because he's coachable. We can work with that.
Yeah.
You know, and every coach will say that. If he's coachable, we can work with that. We can
work with it.
You know,
Right.
it's just on the player.
Yeah.
I want to be a shooter. I want to play. I want to bring the ball up.
Right.
Granted, we're in an era of basketball where there's no position anymore. You know, you got centers bringing the ball up. You got guards posting guys up. So it's a positionless basketball era. But at the same time, you want to be able to do everything.
Definitely.
You know, and it's like I tell the kids now, if you're in high school, let's go with your nephew. He's a point guard. He should be doing point guard things, dominating at a point guard position.
Right.
Now, when you get to the next level and they move you to the 2,
right.
Hey, I can be a combo guard, coach. I used to play point guard in high school. I know how to king the ball up. I know how to set the plays. I know how to do this. I'm just not a scorer now.
Yeah.
But those are the things that got to get you guys to think about this stuff. Like, hey, you know what? He's right. I do got to be coachable.
Yeah.
I do got to be able to put my attitude and my anger to the side because somebody's calling me out and holding me accountable.
Definitely.
You know? And I learned that when I played AAU for Gino Auriemma.
Wow.
You know, my first game ever playing with him, I think I had like 21 in the first half. You know, you play 2 halves in AAU. I had like 21. He takes me out. I don't start the second half. He takes me out. I go sit at the end of the bench. Body language terrible. Like, I don't want to be there. I didn't play the whole second half. After the game, I'm like, yo, why I ain't play? Oh, you talking to me? Oh, you ain't see your body language? You ain't see how you was sitting at the end of the bench? You ain't dap up none of your teammates? You ain't do this, you ain't do this, you ain't do this? And you think I'm going to play you? And it's crazy because right after that summer, that following season with UConn, Diana Taurasi, he did the same thing to her. Sat her up, sat her down. So when I seen that, I'm like, oh, he'll do that to anybody. You know? And it depends on what coach it is, but coaches will do that. I don't care how good you are. I'm going to sit you down.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So being coachable can get you a long way.
Yeah, it can, man. Dang, man, I definitely thank you for sitting down with us, man.
Anytime.
You gave these gems, man. They was impeccable.
Anytime, man.
Hey, man, I thank you for all you're doing to the city. If they want to catch you, where can they, some of these kids, where can they catch you at?
Majority of the time I'm at the YMCA from 3 to 5, just working out with the kids. I usually put my number out on social media, or you can just hit me on social media to set up something. Like I said, I'm always available, man. I'm really just trying to get y'all kids to understand that there's more to the world than just Waterbury.
For sure. And if they want to hit you on social media, what would be your...
My IG is Dame Saunders 25, and on Facebook is Damian Saunders.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right. There it is, folks. Another impeccable episode of Run It Back. You know, I'm Eric LeWine signing off. I'm chilling with my man Dame Saunders, man. He did his thing, man, and hey, y'all gotta hit him up for some knowledge, some information, man. He'll give it to you.
Anytime.
All right, now y'all have a good one. Take care.